Hello students, how are you doing there? I hope you're doing well. I'm okay too, and today I'm going to read you about Ireland. Why? Why not? Because I think it's always good to learn your English and at the same time to learn something interesting about different countries, different places. And for this article, you can find my vocabulary. There are a lot of interesting idioms and there are a lot of interesting words. So use vocabulary before to listen and read, or you can use my vocabulary after listening and reading this text. Don't be afraid. There are 21 things to know before moving to Ireland, but I'm going to read not all of them, just some of them. The most interesting, the most important, I think. And pay attention, it is written by George Jackman, which is quite professional man, and he really knows what is he writing or talking about. So there's so much to love about Ireland. If you are moving there, congratulations. From the stunning natural beauty to the culture, which delights at every opportunity, Ireland has something for everyone. Plus, it's still in the European Union. Oscar-winning actors, Nobel Prize-winning authors, and Grammy-winning singers have all called Ireland home. And what's more, they had great fun doing it. They had great fun doing it. Here you can see a beautiful place in Ireland. And Ireland has more beautiful landscapes that you can shake a Guinness at. This is very interesting phrase to describe that Ireland has more beautiful landscapes that is even difficult to count. But we are going to start from the bad news. Ireland is expensive. Prepare yourself to spend more in Ireland than you might expect. The country has the second highest price level for consumer goods and services in the European Union, at 34 percentage points above the average. So you understand the point, yeah? If you have some average price in Europe, for example, if something costs 100 euros normally, so in Ireland you have to buy 134 euros for that. The UK is expensive, but it's only 21 percentage points higher than the average. Obviously, it'll depend where you live. Beware, Dublin is particularly expensive, and Londoners will be used to most of the prices they see, but nevertheless, make sure you can afford life in Ireland before you move. Yeah, good recommendation. Make sure you can afford life in Ireland before you move. Number two, most of the action happens in Dublin. With apologies to other Irish cities, which all have their own wonderful character and charm, it's hard to argue with the numbers. 1.9 million people live in the Greater Dublin area, which is 39% of Ireland's 4.9 million population. It makes sense that the capital is the most exciting place to be. Of course, it depends from what you do and what you like to do. And boy, does it live up to that reputation. Dublin is a vibrant, living organism bursting with music, art, and new ideas. So when we say does it live up to that reputation, we mean that Dublin is really exciting city. The capital, which is a UNESCO City of Literature, plays most to the Dublin Fringe Festival, international festivals of literature, food and film, and a 4-day-long Bram Stoker Festival to celebrate the Irish author of Dracula. And if you want to get away from it all, you are in luck. You can visit the National Botanic Gardens, Ivy Gardens, and Phoenix Park, the largest capital park in Europe, and home to a herd of fallow deer. So you can see some deers there, which are not so big and have some spots. Next, wherever you live, you should go explore. So it's number three. Ireland is packed to the brim with stunning landscapes and man-made structures. So don't stand still. The country's relatively small size makes it the perfect place for weekend holidays, so there's no excuse for missing out on Ireland's many wonders. Walk the breathtaking cliffs of Moa, relax in County Kilda's Japanese gardens, and spend a week driving and strolling through the beautiful Dingle Peninsula. If you are looking for a thrill, kiss the Blarney Stone. Be prepared, you have to hand off the edge of the castle to reach it. And spend the day at Murder Hole Beach, a hidden beach in County Donegal, whose ominous name belies its stunning nature. So Donegal has very strange name. So in this name you can hear something strange, dangerous, but the beach is not like its name. So it sounds not so good, but the place is beautiful. Then pay a visit to Leap Castle, known as the most haunted castle in the world, thanks to the murderous exploits of former occupants, the O'Carroll clan. Wow. And make sure to enter the lottery to spend the winter solstice and New Grange, a gigantic 2,500-year-old passage tomb in County Meath, which is aligned with the rising sun on the winter solstice. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So when we talk about solstice, it's usually 21st of December, the shortest day in the winter time. Yeah, so this is called solstice in English. Right, next part is about Irish healthcare is excellent. Here you have some interesting information, but I think it's not exactly true. So numbers are numbers, but before going there, check people who live there, because I'm not sure that all these numbers can really help you to get an excellent healthcare service if you go there to live or if you go there on holiday. So Ireland's healthcare system is the 11th best in the world, according to a 2018 study published in The Lancet and funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. That's 20 places above the UK, and predictably, the differences don't stop there. Ireland has a higher average life expectancy than the UK at 82.1. So people in Ireland usually live longer than in the UK, as well as more hospital beds per person and a lower child mortality rate, according to the OECD and the World Bank, respectively. So children die not so often in Ireland as in the UK, and they have more hospital beds in Ireland than in the UK. The Emerald Isle, so this is the second name of Ireland, also has a lower avoidable mortality rate, diabetes rate, and rate of self-reported poor health among its citizens, according to a different OECD report. There are also 30.9 doctors per 10,000 people, placing Ireland above nations including Norway, the USA, and the UK, which has 28 doctors per 10,000. So they are numbers, but don't take them very seriously. And pay attention. Private healthcare is a large reason why the service is so highly rated in Ireland, with 46% of people taking advantage of this offering. If you are thinking of getting private medical cover in Ireland, so medical cover, it's about medical insurance. We recommend, I don't know how to say this exactly, unfortunately, sorry about that. We recommend probably Signa, with 4 levels of annual cover to choose from an extra modules. For more flexibility, Signa will sort you out with a plan that suits your needs. Start building a customized plan with a free quote to protect your most important assets, you and your family. So as we see, private healthcare is very popular in Ireland, but pay attention, it's private, so you have to think about medical cover or medical insurance and pay some money, of course. Right. Number 5, which is quite interesting and funny, in Ireland, people have a habit of turning up late. It's bad, we know, but everybody does it, and there's proof. An Urban Dictionary entry for Irish people time defines it as an inability to leave the house, making one chronically late for everything. So what does it mean? People are always late in Ireland, and it's normal for them. If you're also perpetually late, you'll feel right at home. If not, get on board or prepare to spend long stretches staring at your phone while fuming at your still not present friends. So while fuming is the same like while getting angry at your still not present friends. You probably might think, okay, where is she? Where is she? Or where are they? I'm waiting here. I'm getting cold. I'm getting hungry. Where are they? Right. So now you know about that. Next, alcohol. Wow. Alcohol is part of the culture. Of course, welcome to Ireland. This should not be culture shock for Brits, but still, be prepared for a serious drinking culture. Don't feel like you have to chug beers or shots though. There's a lot more to drinking in Ireland than getting drunk. Ireland has a massive variety of Ireland has a massive variety of alcoholic offerings to sample, so to try, to taste, with everything from Bailey's Irish Cream to Balmer's Irish Cider to choose from, along with the ubiquitous Guinness. Ubiquitous. So this Guinness is everywhere. That's why it is called ubiquitous. You'll never be short of a new drink. This is the home of the Irish coffee, after all. So be aware. People drink a lot in Ireland. Number 7. It's whiskey with E before I, not whiskey, like in Scotland. And it's damn good. You love whiskey in Ireland. Just don't do what I did on one fateful trip to a Dublin distillery and admit you like Scottish whiskey more. And spell it right, otherwise you'll be breaking the law. The extra E is enshrined in the Irish Whiskey Act of 1980 and helps differentiate Ireland's products from Scotland's. So when you see bottle of whiskey with this name, be sure it's from Ireland. When you see bottle of whiskey with this name, it could be whiskey from Scotland. And in America, I think they use Irish name as well. Well, so what are the differences between Scotch and Irish whiskey? Well, Irish whiskey is triple distilled, unlike double distilled Scotch, and are generally smoother, with its unmalted barley producing delicious notes of vanilla. There are many varieties of Irish whiskey, so go ahead and find your favorite. Okay, I worked as a sommelier before, so I can't say that all Irish whiskey is better than Scotch. No, and not every Irish whiskey smoother than Scotch whiskey. It's not like that. And distillation is not the important part. And Scottish and Irish, they always argue which whiskey is better. Of course, it depends from the brand, from the label, from the producer, and from your preferences, from your own taste. But distillation, it's not important. Like, you can't say that this disc is better because it's triple distilled. No, you can say this disc is better because I can feel taste of smoke, or I don't feel taste of smoke, or I feel different taste of vanilla, or this whiskey is really smoother, right? So you should taste different whiskey, but don't drink your whiskey with cola. You will not appreciate it. Okay, but don't overdo it. Watch out though, while most boozing is simply good-natured fun, binge drinking is a serious problem in Ireland. So binge drinking is drinking too much. 21% of men binge drink at least once per week, according to Central Statistic Office data. So 21% of men get drunk at least once per week. Yeah, get drunk. Spirits are also poured to 35.5 milliliters per measure in Ireland, as opposed to the UK's 25 milliliters. That's 42% more. alcohol per shot. So prepare yourself and feel free to stop at any time. Right. Uh, so it's interesting fact. Um, in Ukraine, we usually have 50 milliliters shots. When I work on the cruise ships, there were 40 milliliters shots of strong alcohol. And we see that in UK it's just 25 and in Ireland 35.5. Right. Next, tea is life, life is tea. British people love tea, but the Irish love it more. The proof's in the pudding. Ireland consumes the second highest amount of tea in the world after Turkey. In total, the Irish drink their way through nearly 5 pounds of tea per person per year, half a pound more than the UK according to Statista. That takes the biscuit. Right, so nearly 5 pounds, so it's more than 2 kilograms of tea per person per year, which is quite a lot, I think. Next, get ready to talk about the weather a lot. Speaking of British customs, if you're worried about missing out on your regular weather discussions, no judgment, it's a great small talk subject, then worry no more. So, my dear students, if you notice, this article orientated for British people. But we learn English, so we can use this article too. Why not? But normally also compares the life in England and Ireland. That's why he says about British customs, because British people like talking about the weather a lot. And 60% of people in Ireland talk about the weather twice per day, and 25% discuss it at least 4 times per day, according to a survey by IPSOS MIBI. So you can use this link to check that is really true. Just like the UK, Ireland is generally mild, but can experience multiple sudden changes in weather over just a few hours. So your mastermind level skills will be put to good use. In the vocabulary, you can find what does it mean mastermind level skills. So it's about your skills to predict the weather and be ready to sudden changes. Next, number 11, we are going to skip. It's about deliveries. Ireland is small but mighty. Yes, that we are going to discuss. William Shakespeare may as well have been describing the Emerald Isle when he wrote, "Though she be but little, she is fierce." So don't be scared. Fierce, it's not about dangerous. Fierce, it's about strong, important, and powerful here. Why? Because Ireland has the 32nd biggest GDP in the world, according to the International Monetary Fund, while lying just 118th in terms of country size. So the country is relatively small, but has the 32nd biggest GDP, валовый продукт. Global mega corporations, including Google, Apple, Facebook, and IBM, have chosen Ireland for their European base of operations, and Irish people have won 6 Nobel Prizes. And the country also punches above its weight in terms of producing fantastic actors. Here we have a lot of different names, so if you know them, congratulations. I don't know, and I'm not sure how to say them correctly. Right, look, here you can see a photo of a beautiful landscape that you can find in Ireland. The glorious, stunning cliffs of Moa. Moa, right. Next, as the British know all too well, this is a little bit about bad news. Yeah, can I say like that? Bad news. These are all the bad news here in number 13. That's why it is number 13. Yeah, pay attention. 13 is not so lucky number, and that's why we have a very sad story here. On a related note, you will no doubt be at least partially aware of the painful history Ireland has with the UK. Right, it's a really painful history. Ireland's struggle for independence was soaked in blood from the brutally crushed 1916 Easter Rising, in which 450 people died, to the 1919 21 Irish War of Independence, in which 2,000 people died, including 750 civilians. The Anglo-Irish Treaty ended the war and gave Ireland its independence, but prompted the Irish Civil War in 1922, which led to at least 1,600 deaths. And then there's the Troubles, a 30-year conflict fought over whether Northern Ireland should remain in the UK or become part of a united Ireland. This only ended in 1998 with the Good Friday Agreement, after resulting in 3,500 deaths, more than half of whom were civilians. Yeah, sounds terrible. Ireland's two main political parties, Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, are direct descendants from the two sides of the Civil War, which shows how echoes of Ireland's bloody past still resonate. So this story, unfortunately, hasn't finished yet, and this problem still exists because part of the island is occupied by British, which is called North Ireland. So be sensitive to this history and the UK's part in it, and get ready for some uncomfortable interactions. Right, so it's good we are not British, right? And to tell the truth, British usually don't like Irish, and Irish don't really like Brits. Number 14, it's a diverse nation. Irish nationals come from exactly 200 countries, according to the 2016 census. And this is reflected in the wonderful diversity of events and food you can find in your new home. So what can you do there? Just some examples, right? Party at Oktoberfest celebrations, enjoying nation wine culture night events, and delight in 3 days of fireworks, music, and dancing that honor St. Patrick every March. Okay, and we have some more information about festivals here. Okay, right. They are friendly, promise. Let me drink some water first, and then I'm going to read you about who is the friendliest nation in the world. They are friendly, promise. Known as the land of 100,000 welcomes, you should be able to easily settle in after arriving in Ireland. The country came 7th out of 33 in that category in survey, and Dublin has been voted the friendliest city in Europe more than once. Ireland is also the second best country in the world as providing excellent service and hospitality according to TripAdvisor. This accepting atmosphere is emphasized by the relative lack of hate crimes. Hate crimes, they are crimes against minorities, against different nationalities. There was 368 in Ireland in 2018, 21 times less than in England and Wales, according to government figures. Okay, so who is the best country in the world when we talk about hospitality? So Ireland exactly is one of the best. Number 16, I'm not going to read. Number 17, you'll have company. So it's for British people, but could be interesting for other nationalities too. 103,113 people from the UK live in Ireland, according to the 2016 census, and one of the largest British expat populations in the world. More of these expats live in rural areas than urban places. So wherever you go, you'll run into a Brit. Try not to just mix with expats, though. When in Rome, make friends with Romans, especially when they are so friendly. So here, when we say, when in Rome, make friends with Romans, when you go to Ireland, make friends with Irish people, not with other nationalities. Next. What else do we have here? And plenty in common anyway. So here we compare Ireland and the UK. You probably shouldn't say this in an Irish pub, but Brits share a great deal of cultural knowledge with their neighbours across the Irish Sea. When it comes to sport, Ireland embraces rugby, football, and increasingly cricket. And in terms of music, the Irish top 50 doesn't generally differ dramatically from the UK top 40. In both cultures, people like to get rounds at the pub, generally thank the bus driver, okay, maybe not in London, and enjoy the works of Irish writers Oscar Wilde and Samuel Beckett. Plus, of course, everyone speaks English. Traditional Irish cuisine also won't hold too many surprises for a Brit. You should definitely try Irish lamb stew, colcannon, mashed potatoes with cabbage or kale, and a potato pancake dish called boxty. But your palate will be prepared. So I'm not sure if the Irish cuisine is great, but my dear students who visited Ireland or who lives in Ireland, please comment about this. Is Irish cuisine good? Do you like food in Ireland? What do you usually eat while living in Ireland? Here you can see quite unusual dish, I think. It is called boxty, one of the many familiar culinary delights Ireland has to offer. Familiar, familiar. One is one of the many familiar culinary delights Ireland has to offer. Right, next is about Eurovision is a big deal. Yeah, of course. You'll also be at least vaguely familiar with the Eurovision Song Contest, a cheesy music event that brings together the whole continent, plus Azerbaijan, Israel, and Australia. But not like this. Ireland has won Eurovision a record 7 times, with 4 of those triumphs coming between 1992 and 1996. Unfortunately, luck has deserted Irish entrants in recent times, with the country making the top 10 only once in the past 13 contests. Nevertheless, if Ireland makes it to the final, you'll be swept up in a storm of glitter, pyrotechnics, and various interpretations of Europop. So, as I understand, Irish people are crazy about Eurovision and the like festivals. Next, dive into Ireland's unusual customs. Yeah, it's good to know. On your travels, you'll encounter plenty of surprising traditions. Learn into them and you'll have a whale of time. For example, for more than 400 years in Kilgreen, County Kerry, locals have held their park fair, in which a wild goat is captured in the mountains, brought to the town square and crowned King Park by a local schoolgirl who is herself known as Queen Park. The goat subjects celebrate this coronation for 3 days before the monarch is released back into their natural habitat. And on Halloween, barmbrack, a sweet bread with sultans and raisins, is traditionally baked so it contains a piece of cloth, ring, stick, and small coin. Symbolic meanings are drawn from who receives which item in their slice. Okay, and where else in the world can you enjoy customs like this? Nowhere. Enjoy. Right. And the last part, I think, leprechauns don't exist, but superstitions do. So leprechauns, they are very small, I think, mysterious creatures. So they don't exist, but superstitions do. Superstitions, it's things that people believe, but actually there is no scientific explanations about that. As well as these customs, you'll also come across multiple unique superstitions in Ireland. Obviously, these aren't universally believed, but they live on. Not universally believed, so it's about one thing. Not everyone believes in that, but many people believe. An itchy palm, an itchy palm signifies that money is coming your way. Yeah, good. While an itchy nose Each nose is seen by some as indicating that a fight is on the horizon. Huh. In our culture, an itchy nose indicating that a big party or big drinking party is on the horizon. Don't worry though, you can take precautions against danger. Bakers historically cut across into their loaf to let the devil out of their dough and still do this to produce a more even bake. Yeah, interesting. And we are sure it won't come up, but whatever you do, don't cut down a lone hawthorn or ash tree. Hawthorn, boярышник, ash tree, yasin, standing in the middle of a field. In Celtic folklore, they are fairy trees, the gateway between our world and that of the wee folk. Yeah, interesting. So they like hawthorn, and they like hawthorn trees and ash trees as well. If you feel okay. So this is all about Ireland. So let me demonstrate the vocabulary. You can find this vocabulary below this video. There are a lot of entries, of course, because we have a lot of information about Ireland, a lot of places, a lot of geographical names. So I tried to help you to get all the useful information so you can understand the article better. I explain what is Donegal and what is the phrase, and boy, does it live up to that reputation. And here we have fort, which is kind of military castle, ominous, ominous, belie, belie, tomb that you can watch in New Grange, for example, and vibrant. Is this what we usually describe Dublin and other big cities like Tokyo, for example? Vibrant, so full of life, full of people, cars, activities, festivals, and so on. As said, something that is very valuable for you, like your health. Perpetually, perpetually, always, yeah, perpetually. She's perpetually asking me for money. I hate that. Enshrine, ставить, интегрировать, включить в список во что-либо. Binge, it's about drinking too much. The proof of the pudding, or the proof is in the eating. So you can see the Russian equivalent for this. And organism, organism. Fellow deer, a small deer. Stretch, stretch. So in our article, it's about period of time, stretch. Fume, to be very angry. Chug, it's like to drink without stopping to breathe, like in a one gap. Ubiquitous, very strange word, and it's about things that you can see everywhere, like Guinness. Guinness is the most popular beer from Ireland, which is quite interesting to drink there, not in Ukraine. Differentiate, differentiate, differentiate. Mighty, strong or powerful. Fierce, 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 strong and powerful. Fake, very small. Deserted, like a deserted building, empty building. And also some information about food. Superstition, superstition, like суеверие. And dough, pay attention to the pronunciation, dough, bread dough, pastry dough, and knead dough. So use this vocabulary to learn some new words and improve your English. And I hope it was interesting and you learned something about Ireland, and you can improve your English if you listen and read. And now it's time to say goodbye. Bye, bye, bye. Thank you for listening, and I'm going to hear from you soon. Goodbye, bye.